All right, let's talk about a skill that can literally change your life, getting smart with your money. I know, it can sound kind of complicated, but trust me, by the end of this, you are going to have the basic tools you need to really take control. So let's just dive right in.
So I gotta ask you, are you ready to be the boss? Ready to finally understand your money and make it work for you instead of the other way around? If you're nodding your head right now, then yeah, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, first things first, we have to start with the foundation, right? The absolute bedrock of your financial life. And that's your first bank account. You can think of it as like the command center for all your money.
So what is it? Well, a checking account is basically a super secure home for your money. It's way safer than stashing cash under your bed, and it makes paying for stuff incredibly easy. So you get two huge wins. It's safe and it's convenient.
Now, once you've got that command center set up, you're gonna get some tools to use it. And usually that means plastic cards. But here's the thing, not all plastic is created equal. Let's break down the two heavy hitters, debit cards and credit cards. Okay, this right here is the #1 thing you have to understand. A debit card, that spends your money. The cash comes straight out of your account, right then and there. But a credit card, that's you spending the bank's money. It's a loan you have to pay back.
Here's a super simple way to think about a debit card. Buy now, pay now. You swipe the card, and boom, the money is gone from your account. It's immediate. It's a direct swap.
A credit card, on the other hand, is all about buy now, pay later. But, and this is a huge but, that pay later part is critical. You get a bill and you have to pay the bank back. If you don't pay the whole thing off, they charge you extra. It's called interest, and it's basically a fee for borrowing their money.
All right, you've got the account, you've got the cards. Now let's talk about the single most important habit you can possibly build, and that's tracking your money. It's really just about knowing what's coming in and what's going out.
So why is this a huge deal? Simple. If you spend more money than you actually have, you get hit with something called an overdraft fee. And trust me, those fees are painful. They're expensive. Tracking your spending is your best defense against those silly mistakes.
You know, the classic way to do this is with a check register. It might seem a little old school, but the idea is timeless. You see what's happening here? You start with a balance, you get a paycheck, boom, the balance goes up. You buy a coffee, whoops, the balance goes down. Every single transaction changes the score.
Let's just boil it down to 4 easy steps. You start with what you've got. You add anything you get. You subtract anything you spend. And there it is. That's your new balance. It's just simple math, but it puts you in total control.
Okay, so once you've mastered tracking your daily spending, you can use those exact same skills for much bigger goals. So let's shift gears and talk about a huge one, paying for college or trade school. For a lot of us, this is the first really big investment we plan for.
Now, what's really interesting is that almost nobody pays for college with just one big pot of money. It's usually like a puzzle that you piece together from a bunch of different places, kind of like the different slices you see on this chart.
So here are the main pieces of that puzzle. The absolute best ones are grants and scholarships. That's basically free money that you never have to pay back. Awesome, right? Then you've got your own savings or money you earn from a job. And finally, you have student loans, which can fill in the gaps, but you got to remember, it's borrowed money and you have to pay it back with interest.
So you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble? Why make this huge investment in more education? Well, because there is a direct proven link between your education and how much money you can earn. Let's look at the long-term payoff.
This right here, this is one of the most powerful truths in personal finance. As a general rule, the more you learn, the more you earn. Investing in your skills now pays off with a bigger paycheck later. You're really just investing in your most important asset, yourself.
And you can see it right here, clear as day. This chart just lays it all out. More education and training, it typically leads to a higher salary. Yeah, there are always exceptions, but this is a really strong pattern.
Now, a higher salary every year is great, for sure. But the real wow moment happens when you zoom out and think about your lifetime income. We're not just talking about 1 year's paycheck. We're talking about the total amount you earn over your entire career, like 40 or 50 years of work.
So what does all that add up to? Well, over a lifetime, the difference in what you earn can, well, it can be more than $1 million. Just let that sink in. That's a truly game-changing amount of money, and it all starts with investing in yourself.
So, we've covered the basics, right? From your very first bank account all the way to your biggest long-term goals. Here's the cool part. You are the author of your own financial story. The rules are pretty simple, and now you have the tools.
Your story is just getting started, so what are you going to write?